Bingo, we're recording right now.
All
All right, this is Thomas Leonardo Rosnek, or Rosnek as you might call him. Roz, some people call him. He is a nearly famous individual who spent a lot of time up on stage trying to make people laugh.
I had my 15 minutes of fame.
15 minutes.
And that's all you needed. Andy Warhol said that.
Yeah, in the future. But
no, actually, I was famous in Tampa Bay there when Pee Wee Herman had that tragedy when he was caught jerking off. I wrote a song about that called "The Wad of Life." Here come Pee Wee going through the porno movies, bopping his baloney instead of getting laid. Here come Pee Wee, he's watching out the nurses sitting in the back rows, walking away. He got the lotion, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Masturbation, ejaculation. That's when the cops shouted out that this is a raid. And after all the evidence and double talk, he'll write a story about that night Pee Wee shot the wad.
Here's the weird thing about that. Right about this, I don't know if it was the same time that happened or soon afterwards, Terry Schulman's was right next to that porno theater.
That's right. Yeah, you knew the notorious.
Every day I would walk from where I lived near Siesta Key Beach over to Terry Schulman's, and I'd walk right. I'd see that porno place every day. and by the way, I never went in there, but you know, I didn't want to sit on the damn chairs, or after what they did there.
Cheryl and I went in there one evening, and we took the Terry Schulman van with us. And you remember Miss Audrey, who used to work there?
Yes, I do.
She was prim and proper with a very arrogant Southern aristocratic accent. And Red Lobster happened to be right next door to the Pee Wee movie porn house. And when we were in there, we actually parked the Schulman van over at the Red Lobster restaurant because we didn't want it to be seen in front of the movie theater. So Miss Audrey came in and she said, "Oh, Tom is here." So she actually tried to...
She came looking for you in Red Lobster. Said, where could he be?
She looked at every table. Then she finally had us paged over the loudspeakers. Oh. And she said, "Where the heck are they?" And so we told them that we went across the street to eat at, I think there was a barbecue place or something. We told them.
You know,
and I don't know if she bought that or not, but it's my story.
Maybe, I bet she did, because she obviously didn't register immediately. Wait a minute now. After you went there, did you guys make out?
Well, not during, but afterwards we got a lot more.
No, during, because I know they arrest you.
There were a few positions that I didn't quite know about. I knew all 69 positions up to that point, but I think I got up to about 83, 84.
No, that's. I used to go to naked women bars, not a lot, and I stopped going. And I know this might sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but I felt like it was sad. If I'm gonna get all turned on personally, you start like evolving into a Marilyn Monroe because you absorbed all of it. I don't know.
In the 90s when I was doing the comedy clubs, every now and then the comedians would go to the local titty bar, and I used to hate rap. I'm watching the dancer, and she's doing some heavy rap stuff, and I thought, I said, "Oh man, rap is starting to make sense to me now." It's all coming to fruition. The beat mixed with the pornographic lyrics, and
everything is about your groin. Is basically.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Aesthetic.
That's right. Yeah, the groin. The groin. Where is it? I've lost it. I finally had that amputation from my stomach on down.
Yeah. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about it because it's the same goddamn things happening with me. I'm just terrible. Oh, look, there you are. You're cute. Anyway,
trying to shake this wig off, but it's not happening. It's all right. You want it funny? You're getting funny.
I don't want. I hate to admit it that I used to be one of the horniest people on earth. Now you might know that, and Sarasota was good to me in that area.
Well, when you were a rock and roll star, really, I don't think you wrote too many love songs, so
not a one.
That would have
Not a one. There was one that was.
art.
There was one that was about sex, but that was a philosophy. Wasn't my idea, but I carried it out. No love songs.
Yeah,
that was part of our. If I started to write a love song, they would yell at me.
I wrote a lot of anti-love songs. I was probably trying to avoid it at all costs, but
no,
finally, I've written a few married songs as I've gone on in life.
No, well, I still don't write love songs. I guess but I've had love. I've had love here and there, now and then.
Exciting and new.
It's mostly destructive. What can I tell you? All right, let's talk about comedy. Because I one time went up and tried to do jokes on stage, which you might say, oh, every time I was on stage it was a joke, right? But I actually went up on stage one time in front of people and tried to tell jokes, and it was a disaster. I mean, it was like I felt wooden. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I've seen a couple of your stand-up improvisations. So when I edited your Big Wow,
yeah, but that wasn't. I wasn't trying to be funny.
Well,
That's just me.
You were pretty damn funny, and I think you had 4 straight men who were going, "Oh, Barbo."
But Jane was ragging me all the time. She used to object to everything I said. People used to go around. Yeah, when I was in that band, I'm telling you, they used to object to everything. They used to come around and say, you're incorrigible. That's the word they used to use. Incorrigible. I don't even know what that means. What's incorrigible? I'm going to look it up.
You can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. And you've been pleasing yourself for since 16, 17 years.
Because nobody else will. I mean, I tell you. No. Sammy Ludwig. Sammy Ludwig told me probably the same thing. He's you know who he is, don't you? But
no, did he graduate with us or something?
No, he's a guy I knew from Kent.
Oh, okay, Sammy Ludwig.
He's an unusual character.
Is he another failed comedian?
No, he's a failed musician.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does the word fail really mean? I mean, I made a few bucks for about 10, 12 years.
You want to hear a joke I made?
I met a lot of great people, and there's no such thing as fail. You had a great time, when you did the band. I don't see where we should consider this failing. We had a great time. We got some good memories.
Nice philosophy. You can fail at things.
Got laid a few times, so what the hell.
If you try to jump over a 6'2" pole and you don't make it, you failed. So I guess you can fail. But
that's why I did the limbo rock.
But well, let's see.
I can go pretty damn low.
Now let me ask you. Well, let me tell you.
I could have been a Republican. I go so low.
I wrote a joke. If you want me to, I'll give you. You can use this. You don't do jokes anymore. But how about this?
No jokes.
Insult. I got 2 insults. They're both one stupid. One is you failed the IQ test. That's one. And because you can't fail the IQ test, and the other one is never mind, I forgot.
Man, you screwed up the joke. That was probably not going to get a laugh to begin with.
Neither of those
got a laugh as a result.
Neither of those jokes are going to get a laugh. I'm telling you right now. If stupid were a virtue, then you'd be a saint. That's my other. That's kind of a stupid joke, I know. My phone is still on.
Oh my God!
I don't know how to shut the phone. This is
shut the phone up.
Jeez, I don't know what I'm doing. These computers. I'm like the old. They make fun of me all the time at work because I'm. All right, say something.
Have we been recording this junk so far?
Yeah, everything's recorded. You can edit that. You know what? I was going to ask you another thing. When you're doing your comedy video, if you're doing it, are you going to put in canned laughter?
Sometimes I do it, but not to say that this was funny or that was funny. I just do it to mock myself out.
Because you ever watch that show on TV, The Office?
Yeah.
They don't have any canned laughter.
No, they
And
don't.
I don't like it. I need my canned laughter.
One of my favorite shows that I forgot was really funny, but I've been watching it on the Entertainment channel is 30 Rock. I love 30 Rock.
Does that have canned laughter?
Baldwin, no canned laughter at all.
See, yeah, I liked canned laughter. I like canned laughter. I know it sounds terrible because it, like, I don't know, it makes me laugh. You know, when other people are laughing, it's like contagious.
So you see what they're telling you basically is laugh at this point, even though you don't think it might not be funny, but seeing as how you hear everybody else laugh, that's one of the basic ingredients to a comedy club. One guy laughs, the other guy's going to laugh, and so on down the line. But you know, sometimes you get a dead crowd, and you got to poke them with a stick, or insult them, or just start talking about something else.
If you can get like a little bit of laughter, it's kind of like a trickle that breaks the dam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because
that's what I meant. You hit it right. Who's interviewing who?
No, I don't know. That's a good question there.
It's a good analogy.
I guess it's
a good analogy. I think you're a better writer than I am. So.
Yeah, I've even given up writing because it's gotten to the point now where I write so slowly. I used to be able to sit down and write 6 pages in a sitting. Now I can write a half a page.
Failed novelist.
Yeah, and who's that? Who's that? You talking to me?
Well, you know, I've written a couple novels as well, and it's probably way too fast for my own good. But you know, one of the things about failing. I
remember the one you did. I remember that one.
One of the things about failing is you always have to complete the process. I don't think we ever completed the process, whether it was a rock and roll band or whether it was being a comedian. Because in order for you guys to be famous as a rock and roll band, you needed to go to New York and start appearing at CBGB's or going down to LA and start
get into a recording studio.
Right, exactly. You couldn't possibly wait and get discovered in Cleveland. The power people, the ones with the money, the ones who produce the records are in New York and LA, and you're never going to get anywhere. And it's the same thing with being a comedian. If you don't go and do the showcase clubs in New York or LA, you're never going to make it, no matter how hot.
I think the world is changing now. The world is changing. That was our generation with this internet shit. Yeah, I mean, excuse me, internet, this wonderful internet stuff. You know, you can come from anywhere, can't you? I mean, Justin Bieber came out of Canada. I mean, you know,
it's still like hitting the lotto. I mean,
yeah. Well, doesn't it hurt if you have talent?
Even if you're a good band, even if you're a good comedian, it's still
like
a good
hitting the
lotto. When I was doing it, there were probably 500 touring comedians out there, and I figure like, hey, okay, I was one of the best 500 comedians in the country, if not the world. So, you know,
don't you think that the cream rises to the top?
I guess so. I like my cream on ice cream. Tell you.
You know, I'm proud about. I mean, maybe we just suck, man. Yeah, we think of that. Maybe sometimes I listen to me sing, and I'm thinking to myself, geez, it sounds like somebody's torturing a goose or something. Honest. I mean, you know, was I really that? I guess Rob Johnson had fast hands, and Doug played. I listened to that spinning around thing. I think Doug's guitar work was brilliant on that. But
yeah, it was great.
But me, I don't know. You know, and I was kind of the main thing about the. You know, I mean, let me just say, I didn't say this before, but that band broke up because of me, mainly. Because I was a stupid idiot, you know, and I was also starving to death.
I thought it was Doug.
Well, Doug was not the one who broke that band up, you know.
All right, so eventually the truth comes out because from what I understand, Paul was the one who broke the band up. But now I'm getting it was John Lennon.
It was Yoko's fault.
Yeah, but they blamed it on Paul back in the day because he's the one who came out with the first album.
No, he was the most type A guy. He was the most type A guy out of the bunch.
All right,
you know?
So everybody thought it was Doug that broke up Big Wow, but it was you, really. You're the one who didn't make everyone else a success in that.
Well, band, no, had I chosen to pursue it at when they had this, you know, we had the Big Wow powwow, you know, And
that's what your band should have been called that, man. You probably could have been discovered in Cleveland had you gone with that.
That's good. Well, let's rewind.
Big Wow Powwow, brought to you by Free Beer.
Well, when we had that, the one guitar player, I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to insult people online, but he wanted the drummer in him to start another band. And they came in and he started calling Doug all kinds of names, and Doug was very insulted, and so he wasn't going to work with that guy anymore. And at that very same time, I said, well, I want to take a break. And that was me who destroyed the whole thing, And I'll tell you.
Why couldn't they have got another singer?
Well, no, they
singers are a dime a dozen, weren't they?
Singers?
I mean, anybody could sing. Anybody can go up there and make a fool of themselves like me and you. I mean,
I tell you something. I fake sing,
They could have probably got a duck to go up there and go whack, 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 whack.
That's right.
Yeah, who knows?
I used to fake sing. Okay, I used to fake sing. I thought to myself when I used to do this, if I can imitate somebody that's singing, it's exactly the same thing as singing.
Well, you did sound a lot like Mick Jagger.
At times. And I was more like Eric Burden. I sound more like Eric Burden than Mick Jagger.
Yeah, you had a nice blend with the rest of the band to where it all sounded like...
Yeah, we were stupid. We probably gave up too soon, Just like you probably could have... I know your story. I know your story about your music, your rather comedy, is that you didn't want to go away from home for long periods of time and destroy your family.
That's true. I had a couple 6-month extravaganzas on the road, and I just missed the family, and I just felt like it wasn't worth it. And my daughter was getting in trouble at the time, so I just decided to.
Yeah,
it took me 14 years to realize that, and by then it was too late. But Elizabeth's doing great now, and we love
her. Yeah. I'm wondering about my kids too. I don't want to make up any, but I have a son. My son doesn't want me to talk about him or anything ever. He doesn't want to be on the video. Oh, yeah, we're getting off track. Talk about comedy. That's what we were supposed to talk about.
That's what the editing machine is all about. That's what I should have been. I should have been an editor. That's pretty much what I do best.
I see that your editing is very good. It actually, I have the worst editing. I am terrible, and I'm, yeah. So
I can make anybody look or sound good now.
Well,
it's all about quick cuts.
So
that's why I put in my contract that I need to edit this interview.
Yeah, but we're gonna see what we're doing right now. This interview that we're doing right now. I want you to do it again in a couple. What I'm attempting to do, and this you can edit all this out. What I'm attempting to do is get a circle of people who are chatty and brave enough to come online and do online debates with me. The more heated, the better, What we're doing is discussing right now. We need to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, this could catch on. I mean, you just need a catchy title like the Big Wow Powwow Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's maybe I'll use that one. I don't know. I don't know yet, but the idea is that I wanted to, before my brain atrophies completely and I'm like a babbling idiot, and they'll say, "Remember what he used to be like when he used to have a brain?" I guess
I would,
or I could have.
And I would be another BARBO.
That's not funny. That's not funny. See, that's what happens to me. I'm like I said, if they had a club where people went to get irritated,
right?
I would be like the Richard Pryor of those people, Oh, Frank BARBO, let's go get irritated. And they'd have big crowds, and I'd be making big money, and I'd just walk out of there going, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we became friends, because they put us together in homeroom in the 8th grade, and you kind of wore me down. You just kept on talking and talking and talking until something clicked. I said, wow, I either better kill this guy or become friends with him so that I can say anything to him after that, and he won't get offended.
You used to be good friends with you can add this out too. That's what's his name, Siegel. what was his name again? Sagal?
Jimmy Sakel.
Jimmy Sagal. You and him used to be good friends. What happened to that?
He was the George Carlin of elementary school. We started out being class clowns together, and I always thought he was a lot funnier than I was. As a matter of fact, when I worked with Jeff Foxworthy, he said he wasn't the funny one in his family. He had 3 brothers who were a lot funnier, and he stole all the redneck jokes from them, and then that's why he became famous. When I opened up for him, just before we were ready to go on, I said, "Hey, Jeff, I got this idea that I'd like to, see if you think it's funny." And I said, "You're a neo-Nazi skinhead if you watched all 3.5 hours of Schindler's List and you end up applauding at the end of it." And he said, "Yeah, Tom, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Tom. Nobody does Foxworthy better than you other than me. But if you go up there and use that, it'll probably be the last time you open up for Jeff Foxworthy." But he was kidding. He was a good guy. And he knew I was kidding. What the hell? Yeah. I don't know what to do. I run into racists all the time, by the way. But I was thinking about doing a video about I hate Donald Trump more than you do video, and I'm going to say, I hate Donald Trump more than you do. No, I hate Donald, like I say something like, the fact that he had sex with his own daughter doesn't seem to bother anybody who's a religious fanatic. Well, Donald Trump to me has always been a fodder figure.
A fodder?
Fodder figure. He is the fodder of our country, as a matter of fact. That's where I think about it, because he really expanded my creativity, and to the point where I actually had to stop doing parodies of Trump because it was too plentiful, and so I kind of had to put the brakes on there. But every parody I thought of, I had to throw Trump in there in some way.
Yeah, I do the same thing. He's a phenomena, if nothing else. What kind of phenomena, I don't know. It's like, he's like a car wreck, I mean, yeah, you got to look at it.
Joe McCarthy was, very popular for 4 or 5 years, and apparently Trump has that same.
I feel better about America now that they actually voted that asshole out of office. It makes me think, why, because I'm getting off on the wrong tangent.
It's all right. Go ahead.
But
wait, or forever hold your peace.
I'm just saying that the United States of America voted for this guy. He's like I don't think he's that bright. I don't think he's a retard or anything. I think maybe he's even above average. Not much above what. Marilyn, what the hell?
Trying to lose the wig. I got to keep on moving. If I keep on moving, I think I turn into Elvis Presley.
All right. Anyway, and then these people come out today. I talk to them all the time. Some guy said to me at work, I haven't met a single person yet who doesn't think that this entire election was completely false and fake. And I said, well, you met me. I don't think it was completely. I mean, who knows? Who knows? That I live in this corner of Ohio. You live down in Florida, and we live in our house. We go to work. For all you know, the whole thing could just could all be a bunch of baloney. You could be.
Well, again, we're quoting Nazis again, but who was it? Hermann Goering, the Minister of Propaganda, said if you repeat the lie often enough.
I think it was Hitler that said that, wasn't it?
I think Goering
or what?
Minister of Propaganda, sing hell.
Or what was it Stalin said? He said it's not the people that vote that count, it's the people that count the votes.
I think that's the way Trump wanted to do it too.
But we are ministers. All right, I'm trying to get back to comedy.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait. So
this whole thing is comical. So what do you got in there?
Half a bottle of wine.
Oh, okay.
I drank a half a bottle of wine last night, and I figured I'd drink the other half. But I got to get up early in the morning.
You know, somebody asked George Carlin once, they said, well, you know, how do you write your material? I said, well, a lot of people think that I get high all the time and that's the way I write. But he says, that's not necessarily true. He says he writes his material and then in the final editing process, he'll smoke a joint just to kick it up a notch and kind of veer it off to the right or left.
There's a law they're trying to push through Congress federally now that it's going to decriminalize marijuana. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, Mitch McConnell does not like that idea. How could we be talking about marijuana? And,
did you see that? Did you see that picture I posted? It had Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies right next.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
and they are spitting images.
Oh man, you ain't kidding. As a matter of fact, Mitch, if you ever do an interview with Mitch McConnell, he should have the Granny wig on, like I have the Marilyn Monroe.
I'm gonna try to get him on here. Yeah. There's a chance. That'll work.
Marijuana. Okay. I look more like Mitch McConnell when I'm choking.
You know, I don't think Mitch will last much longer. But they're just going to replace him with another Republican anyway. But he's not going to last much longer. Take a look at him. He doesn't look too good, you know?
I don't know. I think he's been dead for the last 5 years.
Now that's funny. That's funny.
It's like Brezhnev was dead for 5 years. You know, they just hold him up in front of the May Day parade and they go like this. You know?
That's funny.
All right, thank you very much.
McConnell's going to die any time now. I'm sorry. I apologize. Well,
all right, where are we? Come on, interview, man.
I wanted to know if you thought you were going to go to hell.
Good question. I've often asked myself that. And I figure, like, I've been in comedy hell many times when the crowd wouldn't laugh, and then I'd have
that's hell?
Crazy. Oh, you should see some of the
Start
gigs.
to sweat.
Oh man, some of these crazy gigs that I was in. I was over in Sebring doing like a one-night stand on a Wednesday because they attach a lot of these hell gigs on Tuesday and Wednesday to the Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows in the regular comedy clubs, and I did it at a bar, and it looked just like, remember that Budweiser frog commercial there, where they were out somewhere in
I remember it. Yeah,
the swamps there, and they had a bar there. Well, that's just the way it was, you know. They had a deer head right behind me when I was doing comedy. They put me on a little soapbox, you know. So I ended up just commenting on all the things that were on the wall as I left the stage, and I went around the entire bar until I finally got to the people who were seated at the bar. Nobody was seated in front of me. There was nobody in front of me. There was a pool table, and then there was a bar on the other side, and they were all about 10 or 12 of them seated at the bar. See, that's hell. That's comedy hell. I've been in hell.
What kind of look did they have on their faces? Were they like looking like
You know, I started doing my show for the first couple minutes, and I said, this is not working. So, you know, I just started talking about all the dead animals that were posted on the wall.
Did they pay you for that?
Oh, yeah. I got like $150. You know?
Oh, man,
$150. But once I started commenting on everything, they started laughing their asses off. I went around the entire room. I finally got to them. I started knocking each one of them out on the bar. And then finally I ended my show against a girl, and I was doing a song parody, you know. And I said, come on, now it's time to do the Forbidden Dance, baby. And she turned me around on the pool table and started getting from behind me going, yeah! And I'm at the pool table going, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all night. Thank you very much. Comedy hell.
Oh no, I saw you before. You had pretty quick wit, you know, because some of that stuff was immediate. You know, it wasn't just stuff that you thought of in advance, which you should do, I think. But
you do anything you need to do to make them laugh, and some people just go in there and just say, okay, come on, maybe
if you fart, that's okay.
Some of them are just in a bad mood. You just never know. Every audience has its own characteristic, has their own personality.
Yeah, I used to play music. You know, the thing about difference, I'm getting off the subject again. The thing about music is if you play music and you do a pretty good job of it, people will be automatically impressed, you know, because not everybody can play music. You know, anybody can tell jokes.
All right. No, see, I completely disagree with you on that. And we'll go back to my hell gig that I was telling you about.
All right.
All right. So they had this little soapbox of a stage on there. And if I just had a guitar in my hand, I could play fucking songs all night and not care about a response. But when you're telling jokes, you need an immediate response. You need an immediate laugh. And if that's not happening, you might as well be talking to the pool table, you know.
Which is why
and they're not going to pay you. They're not going to pay you for the audience not to laugh. They're going to say, "Hey, Mr. Funny Boy, you were paid to make those people laugh. You didn't make them laugh, so you owe me $150."
Did somebody ever say something like that to you?
Yeah. There, a couple times, they didn't want to pay me because there was only six, 7 people in the audience. How am I supposed to make money off that? I said, "Well, you're the one that brought me down from Sarasota into Orlando to make people laugh." So,
that's a drag. 6 or 7 people. Jeez. I mean, we never played in front of any crowds that small ever. Never.
Actually, you don't accept a check. You always take cash. For tax reasons, as well as the fact that it would probably bounce like a basketball if you took a
Depends, doesn't it, though? If you're like a big time, never mind. You're right. I know nothing about.
Yeah, you're not. If you're Tommy Chong or anybody like that, you're not.
Or if you're dealing with the Browns and you did a halftime show or something, you better hope that they. Wait, let's talk about the Browns.
That's pretty funny. You're right. That's pretty damn funny. Baker Mayfield has some pretty funny Geico commercials.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that.
Impressive.
I'm getting off the subject again. The Browns are going to be better than Tampa Bay this year.
Yeah, it's still early in the season, and they have a pretty tough schedule. They play the Titans tomorrow. They play the Steelers, and they play the Ravens. So that's pretty.
I think they can beat the Ravens. The Ravens are like all messed up this year, man. It's the Steelers are going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, but
it's the hottest team that goes into the playoffs are the ones that usually make it to the Super Bowl. So
this is the coach, man. This coach is just doing the job, man. But all right, I'm off that subject. All right, let me ask you some more comedy questions.
Make them laugh, make them laugh. Go ahead. Broken fingers, broken hands.